Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming one of the great New York character actors of all time, and I am talking about Robert Lesser. He has the distinction of being in some classic Christmas movies, such as Ernest Saves Christmas, Die Hard, Christmas Evil, my third Christmas Evil podcast this week overall. And he's been in a lot of great movies, but he's been in some great horror and sci-fi movies, like 2010, The Year We Make Contact, Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, The Monster Squad. He's been in a lot of great stuff. His very first movie was actually Eileen Dietz's first movie, too, David Holzman's Diary. Talked to her about that earlier this year, and I'm going to have him on to talk about it today. And it's going to be pretty good, I think. He's a gem of a character actor, and it's going to be my honor to talk to him. So, here is my interview with Robert Lesser.
Hello.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, it's me, Bobby. Hi. Whoops, I'm just hearing your message on the other side.
Oh. Well,
okay.
I'm glad you called back.
Yeah. No, I'm glad my memory just kind of clicked in at the same time. I think it was a little before you called. I remember my brother just called me from New York and said, "Can I call you back in 10 minutes?" And I said, "Sure."
Mm-hmm.
And after I said that, I remembered that we have a date. So here we are, and I just wrote to my brother Jeff, put him on hold. Someone wants to talk to me about me and my career, of all things.
Yeah.
And if he were on the phone, he said, "My God, who would want to talk about that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and here I am, you, I guess. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thanks. I'm fine. I'm in a beautiful spot here in Carpinteria, California. I don't know if you ever wended your way a little north of Los Angeles, about 80 miles up the coast, just before Santa Barbara. Very nice little spot.
Nice. Well, it's such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
You bet.
Yeah, I've liked you in so many movies and TV shows you've done over the years. And I want to go back in time a little. Did you gravitate toward acting early on?
I always gravitated toward it as a kid. I was, in camp and elementary school, and just always loved to do musicals. Come from a very musical family, and got three brothers, big brother and two younger brothers. My two younger brothers are in the music business.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also fooled around with theater, and so was my big brother Larry, who's a retired Foreign Service officer, but he's always been smitten with musicals. We all did it at camp in the old days, and so it was kind of a natural thing that I loved to do. I loved to be in shows, even though I went to college and thought I was an English major, and thought I pretended that I might do something different, but there was never any doubt that I'd be an actor. When I got out of college, I went to the neighborhood playhouse in New York City, back in my hometown, studied acting there, and started my life as an actor.
Did you study with any of the great New York teachers?
I did. I studied with Sandy Meisner, who's a very famous and a great teacher, and not a favorite teacher of mine, however, but my favorite teacher and best teacher I ever worked with is Win Handman, and he's a well-known New York City acting teacher. I think he's about 94 or 95 now, and last I heard, he's still teaching. He's just a great, great teacher.
Wow, that's amazing.
Studio on 54th Street, and also founded the American Place Theater, which was a great theater in New York City where I got my start doing, work on stage, which is my first love.
Mm-hmm. Wow, those New York teachers, they do it till they die, you know?
Yeah, they do. There's some good ones out here too, but somehow it all seemed to start in New York, and it all revolved around the theater in the old days. At least for me, that's what we were all thinking of, how to get a part in an off-Broadway play. It wasn't even about Broadway. It was just,
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman and Al Pacino. They became known by doing great plays. Dustin, what was it? A Ronald Ribman play. I forget. I remember the character. He played Zodich, one of his little weaselly, angry book editors, grumbling in his little room about,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of perfect Dustin play. And I think he became discovered from doing that. And Al Pacino from doing a great Israel Harvitz play, The Indian Wants the Bronx. Got discovered, and here he is.
Yeah, what other actors were in your classes?
In my classes, well, I don't remember any really famous actors that were in my class, however.
Mm-hmm.
But, I worked with a lot of great actors before they became famous in New York, like Michael Douglas and Raul Julia.
Oh, wow.
In a great play, and we palled around a lot together, the three of us, and we had a lot of fun. Used to get high in my apartment. I had a really cool penthouse apartment. I don't know how I got that in my 20s, but I had it and they were great guys. We did this play called Pinkville, which was about the Miley Massacre, which was a horrible one of the many low points during the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And it was done at the American Place Theater. And it was cool. It was cool to get that job. It was cool to get any job, but such a that moment when you get hired, and there's nothing like it, really.
Mm-hmm. Your first movie was Jim McBride's first movie, David Holzman's Diary.
It was. That was a very important movie. I mean, not that we realized it back then, but it kind of broke new ground because it was a fake cinema verite movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it launched Jimmy McBride's career.
Mm-hmm.
People still talk about it.
Yeah, Eileen Dietz has been on the podcast. She's a character.
Oh, yes, Eileen Dietz. She was the girl.
Yeah.
She was the girl. I was Max the agent. Yeah, I know they teach it in college. I remember my niece who was studying film at Hampshire College. They screened it up there and in her class, and she jumped up and down. She didn't. When I appeared, she says, "Oh my God, there's Uncle Bob."
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
That was the first movie. Jim McBride is one of my oldest friends, so I went on to do other films with him. Most notably The Big Easy, which which was a terrific movie with Dennis Quaid and Ellen Barkin at New Orleans.
It's a great movie.
Great. That was a really fun movie.
And Great Balls of Fire and all that.
Great Balls of Fire, yeah. A little part of that. Alan Freed, the famous New York DJ.
Mm-hmm. You are my third interview from Christmas Evil this week.
Oh, but you are really in the weeds. As Louis Jackson directed it, right?
Yeah.
Louis Jackson, yes. Who are the other? Oh, there's that...
Brandon Maggart. I had him on yesterday. And then Monday, Rutanya Alda came on for the fourth time.
Oh, my God. Wow, that is amazing. And there's a terrific actor in it. I'm just blanking on his name.
Jeffrey DeMunn.
Say again?
Jeffrey DeMunn.
Was Jeff DeMunn in that movie?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I didn't realize that. There's another movie with him, a TV movie about people with getting their brains transplanted. I think I was a brain surgeon. That's the closest I've ever come to being a doctor. My parents would have been pleased. I can't remember his name. He's what the hell? Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I'm not great with names. I can't rattle them off. But I wish I could. There's so many wonderful actors that I remember.
Yeah, Louis Jackson, he spent like 10 years trying to finance this movie.
Yeah, did you ever get to interview Louis?
No, I don't even know if he's still alive.
Yeah, he is. He is. And that movie has become something of a cult movie, or at least according to Louis.
Yeah.
I think they do. Festival. I've had a little strange, luck to have been in some cult movies. Monster Squad, I hear, has some kind of a following.
Oh, yeah, that does.
Yep. Never come across that one. That was a fun project.
The Christmas Evil, it's such a bizarre movie, and it's gotten a huge following over the years. It's going to turn 40 next year.
I really don't even remember the plot of the movie. I'd love to see it, get a copy, and see what it looks like. I did get to look at a scene that I was in a few years ago, and I liked it. I was a good cop. I liked it. I liked me in it, and everyone else.
It's a fun little Killer Santa movie.
Yeah. That's nice.
Then
how do you dig up all this stuff yourself? I mean, are you?
I've been a movie fan my entire life. Without movies, I can't breathe.
Oh, that's amazing. My wife and I, we went out in L.A. last night to catch a terrific movie, a documentary about the life and work of Pauline Kael.
Mm-hmm.
And, she was such an important and critic for the new wave of American films, introduced, Brian De Palma. And David Holtzman's Diary was actually talked about that film also. Showed several clips from it. I kept hoping that I would appear, but I guess that was the clip that they didn't have room enough to put in the movie. But
yeah,
you'll enjoy that movie because it gives so many little tastes of hundreds of movies. It seems like are just kind of touched upon, little flashes here and there.
Yeah.
So you've been cinephile, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I just love movies. I always have. It's my life and what I love. And then you did the 2001 sequel, 2010.
Yeah, I, I was in it for a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. My friend Peter Hyams is a wonderful director.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of his movies. I think my favorite is The Relic.
The Relic. Oh yeah.
Did you get a chance to?
I saw it once. I saw The Relic once.
Okay, that's good.
I think that Peter Hyams. Yeah. I think Peter Hyams gets a lot of flack for using a lot of natural light and natural movie sets, but I think that once he's gone, he's going to be looked at as a pioneer.
Oh yes, he's a fantastic cinematographer.
Yeah.
Yeah, natural light. Yeah, not a lot of it. Put the lights on.
Yeah.
But, no, he likes that. In the Relic, we were walking around in the tunnels under Chicago, even though they were made on the back lot of the MGM studios. They were still our tunnels. That was fun. I'd come to work and get into my tuxedo and then go wading into this waist-deep water for the day's shoot. At least a lot of the movie I was, escaping from there with my very delightful actress, Diane Robin, who played my wife. And so it was nice to have her for company in 3 feet of water for a month or so. Yeah, that was a nice movie.
Did you get to meet Roy Scheider?
No, I never got to meet Roy Scheider. Roy Scheider wasn't in that movie.
I was talking about 2010.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in 2010. Thank you. No, I didn't get to meet him. No.
Oh.
You think if he wasn't there on the day that I shot, I didn't get to meet him. But I got to meet Sean Connery.
Oh.
And do a scene with him in Presidio, another Peter Hyams movie.
I like that movie.
That was a good movie, and yeah.
That was shot in San Francisco, where I'm from.
Oh yeah, that's kind of Northern California up here.
Yeah.
What city are you from?
San Mateo.
Oh yeah. Wow. Is that where you are now? Are you still located there, or are you at an undisclosed location?
I've been in Redding, California the last 2 years.
Do you teach?
No, I'm recovering from a car accident, and I just do my podcast here.
Well, I hope you're doing well with that recovery. Difficult as it may be.
I am. Yeah, it's really difficult.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
It's getting better though. It's day by day.
It's good.
You did Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. Were you a production associate as well?
I was. I was worked alongside Brian Gibson, who was a dear friend of mine, and he asked me to be his assistant throughout the shooting of that movie. And it was a terrific experience to be there cradle to grave on such a big movie. A big movie. Will Sampson, that dear guy who played the Indian.
Right.
Not who played the Indian, of course, he was a Native American.
Yeah.
And he wasn't playing an Indian, he just was playing a role in the movie.
Right.
You see how stupid you can get just to
yeah, it's okay though.
Unconsciously just say these things. But he was a really terrific actor, and he didn't live too much longer after that movie.
Yeah, him and Julian Beck both passed after this, and a lot of people say that this series is just cursed. People die right after them.
I know. Well, Julian Beck was, well, the lovely, dear
Heather O'Rourke, yeah.
That Heather O'Rourke, thank you. That was, tragic loss, very, very, very sad, very sad. And those other two great actors, Julian Beck, I mean, not a lot of people realize what an amazing theater pioneer he was, with Judith Malina, his partner for life, who they founded the Living Theater and did some of the best and most important theater work in the 60s, and, kind of political, and traveled all over the world,
mm-hmm.
In New York City. And, he was hanging on when he did that eerie part. It lost a lot of weight, and I'm not sure what was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
A number of things that take you out that way, but there he was working, and Judith was there by his side to give him support and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe it was cursed a little bit, but I don't look at it quite that way. I was worried about Will Sampson. He had some emphysema.
Mm-hmm.
When we were shooting that movie, there was a scene where he would drive up to one of that obscure, dusty place that was, spooky. I forget exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to make it even spookier and dustier, we had big wind turbines blowing the smoke and dust as Will is out surveying this place that was haunted,
mm-hmm.
because it was sacred ground. And just kept thinking, oh my God, Will is out there doing take after take of this scene with all of that dust blowing around and him breathing it. And there was something not right about that.
Wow, yeah, I would call that cursed.
Yeah.
In 1988, the theme of Christmas followed you around, starting with Die Hard.
Yeah, the theme of Christmas. Yeah, I guess there was some people. That movie kind of gets categorized as a Christmas movie, and we never really thought of it that way. But,
yeah.
But I'll tell you, as far as a Christmas movie, for me, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
And that is just like so amazing. And that was just such an exciting and nerve-wracking and ultimately, very terrific experience. Because it was the first, the scene that I'm in, it was the first roll of camera on the movie. Mm-hmm. So, and it was a big shot of, you got to rent the space at the LAX airport with a giant, whatever it was, 747, filled with extras and stewardesses and being towed around the tarmac. And Joel Silver and the director were in the cockpit.
Right.
Just on their headsets and everything. And Bruce and I are sitting in our seats, and we're kind of like, we met that day of the shoot, and the script had been changed, altered a little. That scene, certain things were changed around, and a little cut here. So it wasn't exactly the way we had learned our lines. And we had to kind of get it together.
Mm-hmm.
On the day, which is, kind of the way it works in movies, opposed to theater where you rehearse like crazy. So it was, not quite falling into place, the scene between
mm-hmm.
me and myself. And, I forget exactly what helped the magic happen, but one of the things that inspired me was fear when John McTiernan, the director, came out, and he had a kind of a pencil and then and a clipboard and he was talking about how he was going to, have to cut some of the stuff. He wasn't happy with what was, the take so far. I forget the details, but it was like, basically in my child's brain, it was like, if you guys don't do this better, I'm going to cut the scene or cut your lines, Mm-hmm. It was almost like scaring you into something. And then he said, your faces are this big on the screen. It's like, to me, it's the whole screen, just reminding me how tight the close-up is and all that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I said with all of that, the way I'm just talking for oh, okay. Okay, corner from the road. So, I just felt like, okay, you go get out of here, take your pencil, take your clipboard, go, and I got this. Mm-hmm. And we did a take, and it was just, I knew what to do, how to relax me and Bruce, and just what I wanted to do, and somehow it all worked out. Now it's so great. It was like the first roll of camera, and it just made me be very relaxed for the rest of the shoot. Mm-hmm. They liked it so much they added some scenes to kind of, which they wound up not using when we deplaned, and I had another little encounter with me. I guess I stood for the nice, normal, happy businessman with a family and, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it was just a nice thing, and I say it keeps on giving, and the movie is, just such a great movie. It worked out so fantastic, so many brilliant performances. The arch villain, that wonderful English actor. I'm sorry that I don't have the name on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, Alan
Rickman.
Yeah.
Who, he was new to American audiences, and he was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the building itself seemed to be one of the stars of that movie, didn't it?
Yeah. That sure was, the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second Christmas movie is one of my all-time favorites, Ernest Saves Christmas.
Oh, my God, you're right. Now you've got one of your all-time favorites. Oh, mine, too.
Yes.
Gosh.
How did that movie come to you?
I had my agent send me for an audition. I auditioned, and the guy, John Cherry, also his friends called him Buster.
Right.
Make of that what you will, Buster Cherry. He was a really cool guy, and he was a friend of Jim Varney. They were in business together. I think Jim Varney might have been from Alabama. And, we all remember, if we were alive back then, how successful he was making commercials.
Right.
And he had this approach for doing commercials that he wouldn't do any national commercials. He'd only do local commercials. Mm-hmm. So, because when you do a national, sometimes you can't do anything else. It excludes you from doing, all the competition.
Yeah.
And so he would make these short commercials, and John had a commercial directing practice going, so they cleaned up together. But Of course, Jim Varney was extremely talented man, very, very funny.
Yeah.
Actor, comedian, just amazing. I didn't get to know him much. I maybe met him once or twice, but my side of the plot of that movie was when he wasn't around.
Right.
And I just loved doing that. I loved that character and playing that agent. I forget what my name was, but
Marty Brock.
Oh yeah, Marty.
Yeah.
Marty. Yeah. And it was a really, really just a fun project. We made it in Orlando at Disney World down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. That was another Christmas gift. Just a gift.
There's some great actors in that. Oliver Clark.
Oliver Clark was just lovely, lovely actor. Really nice person. We got to be friendly. I hope he's doing well out there. I'm not sure where he is, Oliver, but if you run across him, you tell him how much Bob loved working with him.
Yeah, I'd love to interview him if I can get in touch with him.
Yes, he's very intelligent and very terrific. I'd go find him. He was also a collector of toys.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like Santa Claus, huh? When you think of it.
Yeah, Douglas Seal played Santa Claus.
Oh, God, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Dougie Seal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you call him Mr. Santos.
Mr. Santos, yeah.
Yeah. I love when you get out of the car and you're singing Jingle Bells, Business Deals, laughing all the way to the bank or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, big deals on the way. Hey there, and then I throw the keys
at the valet.
And I say, park it in the shade.
Yeah.
I threw the pocket in the shade. Had that little line, and I think it was one of the grips suggested that line.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, thank you very much. I'll be happy to say that line." Hey there, pocket in the shade. And just flipped it to him, and of course he wasn't a valet. He was, whatever. He was the gardener or something, or
yeah.
But I just threw it to someone. Just shows you kind of what a funny, goofy guy I was and am. So, yeah, what a trip. That was so nice, driving that Mercedes. And there was a Teamster strike going on at the time of that.
Right.
And I remember it was like I had to drive through a picket line on my scene where I'm driving up, driving into the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little like, because, I'm an old Democrat from New York and, don't want to cross picket lines, but hey, it's my close-up, man. It was driving up in a cool 380 SL Mercedes, and I'm coming, boys. I'm breaking your picket line. Oh, forgive me.
Do you remember the episode you did of Freddy's Nightmares?
Freddy's Nightmares was, I do. I do because it was I had a really hot love scene in it. Is that the one? Did I imagine that?
I believe so. Yeah, Lisa
so.
Gottlieb. Lisa Gottlieb directed it. Yeah.
Lisa Gottlieb. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Freddy's Nightmares. That was also a Christmas present. Very nice. I enjoyed that a great deal. Christmas Nightmares, and I did something in Amazing Stories.
Oh yeah.
Which was a short-lived series where great directors would each do an episode. Mm-hmm. And the one that I was in was directed by my old friend Peter Hines.
Yep.
And it was so violent, what happened to me in my scene, that they couldn't show it at the regular time at 8 o'clock. But they didn't bump it. They showed it at 10 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
I was a homeless vet, living on the streets, and I see a murder, the Strangler,
Yeah.
of somebody at night, and I go into a phone booth to call 911, and the Strangler, pushes out that he's being ratted on by this homeless guy that he didn't know was there, and he puts his hands right through the glass on the telephone booth to garrote me, strangle me with a wire, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just with his bare hands, I forget, but just shoving his hands right through the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And, wasn't pretty. And I didn't kick his ass.
Yeah.
That's the breaks. Would have been nice. Would have been a nice surprise ending.
Yeah.
Bring back the old vet, as push comes to shove, his old training clicked in, but no. Anyway, that was fun too. That was a funny thing happened in shooting that scene. I was, they were shooting in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
It was a night shoot, and the crew was down at the end of the block, and I was waiting, like 200 yards away, hanging out right around my phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
I had different lines, and I thought I'd take advantage of practicing my part a little bit,
Yeah.
before they do this, move the crew down and set up the shot for me. So I went into the booth, and I had to, do some. I was kind of, semi-hysterical, like, something just happened. You got to get over here fast. The guy's doing this and that, and I'm getting in there, and in my enthusiasm, I hit the glass on the phone booth, and it shattered.
Mm-hmm.
It shattered like in a million pieces, because that's what it's made to do. It's what's called candy glass.
Yeah.
And so it was all set up for the scene when the guy sticks his hands through it. So I said, oh my God, I've done it now. I just ruined my phone booth for my scene.
Yeah.
I missed rehearsal, which I probably didn't need to do. I mean, after all, what was so hard? But yeah, you have to, and actually we like to rehearse. And my friend Peter Himes, who fortunately, has deep affection for me from going back to high school. We've always been, how it is when you're childhood friends. And he heard what happened a couple of 100 yards away and realized in an instant, he got the whole picture. He said, oh, God, Bob just, destroyed his phone booth. And rather than get upset, he fell down and started laughing on the sidewalk at night, which was, I thought, one of the kindest things anyone could ever do. And, of course, there was another phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
They have a backup phone booth because, if you didn't get it on the first take, you have to, be prepared.
Yeah.
So I got it on the first take with the other phone booth.
Oh, that's good.
That was good. That was good.
I could imagine why that would be a little embarrassing, though.
It was. It was.
But yeah, I bring up Freddy's Nightmares because Lisa Gottlieb, she's been on the podcast twice. She's a sweet lady.
Oh, she's great. What a dear person. Isn't that nice, Lisa Gottlieb? Oh, I wish she knew that, to say hello for me. She was living in Florida. She was teaching a university down there.
She's still there, yeah.
Oh, dear Lisa, how nice. Well, gee, you've met a lot of my friends.
I've met a lot of great people, I have to say.
Yeah. Did you ever try and interview Jim McBride from David Salt's Diary?
I can't locate him. There's lots of...
He's here in California.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want me to give you his email or something, I'll do that after.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I'd love to talk to him. He's such an underrated auteur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's some fabulous movies.
You actually worked with probably my favorite comedy director, John Landis, on Oscar.
Yeah, that was really fun with Marissa Tomei,
Mm-hmm.
who was such a funny and gifted actress. This is before she did My Cousin Vinny.
Right.
And Stallone himself in an unusual part, this farce, which I thought was a really funny script. It's an underrated movie, really. I mean, there's something that doesn't quite work about it. I'm not sure. Just maybe it was just, not his strength. But I thought he did it. I liked what Sly did. I thought he was. He was terrific. Yeah, that was fun. Fun movie. Good script, unusual script. I have to look at it again.
Yeah.
And see, why? What was wrong? What wasn't happening there? Because everyone was so talented and pulling for it.
Mm-hmm. You did all your stuff with Kurtwood Smith and Art LaFleur, who's been on the podcast too.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Hey. Another delightful man. Both of those people, they were really delightful guys.
Yeah.
And, that was a nice movie because got to be on the set with them for quite some time. I don't remember where most of that was shot. I guess it was at the MGM.
Yes, it was, and actually one of the sets got caught fire.
Yeah, that's right. One of the sets caught fire, and we had to move, and they rebuilt the set somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. It's one of those, one of those mysterious things that happens on movie sets.
Yeah, that's right. I think I was a suspect for a time because I was the last person to leave the set. I'm joking, but you're reminding me that fire was,
Yeah.
I remember, and I was one of the last people to leave, so we joked about it.
Yeah. Any good stories about working with George Carlin on his show?
Well, George Carlin was, a genius and a really nice guy. My dear friend is Alex Rocco.
Oh yeah, he was great.
He's just great. I miss him so much. He's such a great actor, and I met him doing a play that Alan Arkin directed. Joan of Lorraine.
Mm-hmm.
Time ago, in the early 70s, and Alex was in it. And we had a great time doing that play for a few months. And 30 years later, when I moved to my home up here in Carpinteria, Alex Rocco was living on my block.
Mm-hmm.
How bizarre is that?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem, he's such an urban guy, from Boston. His story growing up, and you probably know a bunch about Alex. But he was just a very, very exciting and wonderful friend. I miss him so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, I was very happy to, get to do a little something with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And George Carlin was, that series didn't seem to have legs.
Yeah.
But he was great. He's always great.
Oh yeah, everything he did was great, George Carlin.
Mm-hmm.
So are you still acting these days?
I'm still acting these days, yeah. I just finished doing a Shakespeare play here at the theater in Santa Barbara, Measure for Measure, a play that's not too often done. And I played one of the comic characters, Shakespeare's comic characters, Elbow, Duke's Constable. And, I had to get laughs from jokes that were 400 years old.
400 years old.
400-year-old jokes, and I did. I took no prisoners. I had to really dig deep, go big, loud. But I did it. It was very exciting. I don't get to do a whole lot of Shakespeare. I think the Shakespeare play I did before that was in 1973, Richard III at Lincoln Center in New York, with Michael Moriarty playing Richard III.
Oh boy, that must have been something.
That was something. That play was a little bit cursed also. The woman who played Lady Anne, she's a movie star too. She was married to Neil Simon. I forget her name.
Marsha Mason?
Marsha Mason, thank you. Yeah. She quit on opening night.
Wow.
And that's not a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And she was replaced by a wonderful actress who rose to the occasion. And then tragically, we heard that she was murdered in California.
Oh.
About 6 months after that play closed. She'd gone out. As actors, we migrate out here, as I did for our careers. Lord.
I thought you were going to say it was cursed because of Michael.
Well, we can blame him. Michael had his own problems with, his career arc. I mean, so talented. Remember him in Bang the Drum Slowly.
Yeah.
And how brilliant he was in Law and Order, the first Law and Order.
Right.
Which has been on, I don't know how old you are, but...
I watched it, yeah.
Maybe it was before you were born, I don't know.
No, I was like 7 when that show started.
Really?
Yeah.
He was so great on it. But then he showered on it or something. Who knows? It's like John Voight. Another they have kind of odd side to them. John Voight, I did, the first thing I did in TV was a pilot with John Voight.
Wow.
A pilot for a soap opera. And someone else that you maybe have heard of was in it, Chester Morris. Oh,
Chester Morris, yeah.
Boston Blackie.
Yeah.
It was kind of a B noir serial thrillers. And I remember just how amazing John Voight was when he walked into when I first laid eyes on him. I said, oh my God, this guy's like a Greek god. So handsome and tall. Oh my God. And I played the brother of his love interest, and we were from the other side of the tracks. And I was the parking lot attendant at the country club. And I objected to him messing with my sister. We got into a fight. He punches me and knocks me down, and I hit my head on the corner of his sports car and become a paraplegic for life. And the episode ends with me in a wheelchair singing spiritual. Oh, Lord, what a morning. Oh, Lord, what a morning. That was my character arc.
Yeah.
It was like for a pilot. That was, so, if the pilot had sold, which of course you realize by now it hasn't, that's what I would have been. Gone from the poor football player in high school, other side of the tracks, to a paraplegic, born again guy, which would have been interesting for a Jewish guy from New York.
Yeah, It's
So,
sad but inspirational.
yeah, thank you. That's why I tell it as we draw to a close. We're going back in time. We're ending at the beginning.
Yeah.
And, I hope there's lots more to come. I love what I do, and I love acting. It still fills me with great joy, and it's still ever challenging.
Yeah, it's great you're out there still doing it and doing what you love, and you got to, do it at a time when you could make a great living at it. I heard now it's kind of weird now with the SAG-AFTRA merger.
Uh-huh. Well, it's ever thus, really. Actors' quotes are a little lower than they used to be. I mean, except for the rarefied people in that whole other category. But it's, just a lot of us, we just keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's always that way.
Well, Robert,
we have a good union, and whoever invented residuals
mm-hmm.
on that great day, it wasn't ordained by God that there should be residuals. You just think of it for a second. You can imagine that it didn't have to be. That was a union invented that concept. It wasn't the people that were hiring actors that invented that we would be paid in perpetuity.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I mentioned Die Hard, the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
The check comes and, hey, honey, look at this, Die Hard. Thank you, Die Hard. The franchise that I started.
Mm-hmm. Well, Robert, I thank you so much for coming on today. This was amazing.
Oh, good. I had a very good time talking to you, too. You're a delightful person. I hope you continue to get strong from this accident and have many more, years of a long life of loving the movies and reaching out to people like that. You're a very, very nice fellow, and you really have such a deep knowledge of movies.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Really enjoyed talking to you and jogging my memory.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, and to you.
And
bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Robert Lesser. Ain't he a cool dude? Thank you so much, Robert. That was a great conversation about all those great movies you were involved in. A classic New York actor you are, and I'm glad you're still out there doing it, because we need Robert Lesser, because lesser is more. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!